Welcome to PetesGuide. This is Metric Monday. Last week, I tried out knife-threaded inserts from EZ-LOK, meant for hardwood. This week, I'm trying out another type of threaded insert for wood from EZ-LOK for softwood. These say that they're EZ-LOK knife-threaded inserts for softwood, but there's a distinct difference between the threads on these two fasteners, and I would call the one on the left knife threads, and I would call these not knife threads. Again, everything I'm doing right now is M6, which means a 6mm screw with a 1.0mm pitch between the threads. And this time, as you can see, they came in a nondescript plastic bag. I'm going to pull out 5 of these, and these have a different drive mechanism. You can see that there is a internal hex key meant for an Allen key, and because this company is American, I fully expected this to be a US size. And the tool that came with, the tool that I had to buy separately is the EZ-LOK 9000. And lo and behold, this is not an inch size. Even though it's designed to work with multiple metric and multiple US size fasteners from EZ-LOK. It's 6mm. And that's kind of cool because the one part of this 4-in-1 bit that I haven't found a use for in my mini toolkit is 6mm. And lo and behold, it fits just perfectly. So in a pinch, if all I have with me is this, I can use that. But today, for testing these, I'm going to use this 6mm Allen key, and I'm going to do that because it's got this nice shoulder on it, machined into it, and that's going to help make sure the insert goes in level, I hope, and stop the drive, whatever driver I use, from going below the surface of the wood. So let's get these extra 4 out of the way. And I've drilled 5 different size holes, 7, 7.5, 8.0, 8.5, and 9.0mm. And I'm going to start off as I did last time with just the screwdriver handle. And one thing you should note about these is that they are tapered. So the when I did a test fit, the bottom of the taper fits nicely at 7.0mm. Maybe with a little pressure. Yeah, 7.0 with a little pressure, nicely at 7.5. And then if I flip it around, the largest size that fits, the size that fits without, well, yeah, the smallest size that fits is 9.0mm. So I'm going to try everything from 7.0 to 9 and see which of these works best. And I should mention, if it's not obvious, this is a 2x4. So it's Shirley Douglas fir, which may be kind of on the border between a hardwood and a softwood. But other than basswood, it's the softest wood I have. And okay, this I can already hear. I don't know if that's splitting or just cutting. But the interesting thing about these, the threads on this, is that they have kind of a rounded profile, so not knife edge at all. And I will only be certain when I have done enough experiments. Aha, well, that's interesting. Okay. I believe this is cast zinc, and the drive actually stripped out. So let's see if my hex drive is rounded at all. Maybe a little bit, but I think the pot metal, the cast zinc, that's probably not pot metal. I think it just expanded too much. So let's try this with 7.5. And again, I'll start with the screwdriver handle to get it started straight. It might be that I'm using too hard a wood with these. I'm told that these are the best type of threaded insert to use with, in addition to softwood, plywood. And that kind of makes sense to me that that would be preferred for plywood because it is a laminated wood with multiple layers. Okay, so 7.5, I haven't had the driver strip out. And let's get that. Although it was kind of snug there at the end. So let's try 8.0. And so this should be the diameter about midway up the tapered insert. And one concern that you would have going to a larger hole is centering appropriately and getting a perpendicular installation of the insert. That felt really smooth, although it might be a little off center. Ideally, one would do this in a drill press. And again, let's swap the tool around because I feel more confident, although not positive, that I can get this threaded perpendicular to the wood by using the screwdriver handle until I need the additional torque provided by the ratchet. That feels easier. So if I were to install these with wood glue or epoxy, as I see some woodworkers do, I think I would choose 8.5 as the size, just to give a little bit of space for the glue and epoxy to work, to not be squeezed out entirely and to have something to grab onto on both sides. And that leaves 9 millimeters. So you can imagine as I go up in hole size, the first few turns gets easier because the threads are also tapered. And so instead of having to shove the first row of threads in, they're just going to kind of ramp up naturally. And yeah, I think one thing I've decided from this is that even if fir is too hard a wood for these, this is about the hardest wood I would ever use them in. Okay, and then I'm going to steal a screw from one of my other nuts. And actually, one of the next things I need to buy is a bag of M6 machine screws because I'm getting low on the couple I have already. And we'll just finger thread this in here, and we'll do a quick look for perpendicularness. That looks like it's a little bending to camera left. That looks a little straighter. That's 8.5. And let's try it in 8.0. That looks like it's bending to camera right. And let's try 7.5. And that actually looks pretty perpendicular, so I'm happiest with 7.5 and 8.5. So I think, let me give you a closer view of all of these. And there's how much the smallest hole has the insert protruding. So I think I'm going to make a call that, boy, it's tough. It's between 8.0 and 8.5. I think I'm going to go with 8.5 for these inserts. And we'll find a more precise and official way to figure out that size in the future. So for now, we'll count that as a placeholder. That's the 8.5 millimeter drill bit for the M6 EZ-LOK knife threaded inserts for softwood. And that's all I have for this little experiment. And thank you for watching. This is PetesGuide closing down.